Playing music for a child's heart, body, and mind.
Good morning, Onyx class. How are you doing today? And how was your weekend? You're welcome to another mathematics class. Remember last week we started the topic which is length, and we look at the different units of length and how to approximate into the nearest unit of length. So today we'll continue with the topic. I'll be looking at how to convert from one unit to another. So join me as I take you through the new topic. Alright, like I told you, I said we're looking at conversion of units of length. And I gave you a chart last week to study. By now I expect you all to be able to say them without looking at your book. I want to believe you've all memorized the units conversion. So basically we'll be looking at centimeters, meters and kilometers in this our conversion. So I brought this back. We had it in your note last time. 100 centimeters make 1 meter and 1000 meters make 1 kilometer. This is very important to what we are doing today. So I need you to all know this. Alright, we have an important information here. You can see note. Number 1. When you are changing from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide by the exchange rate. Last week I told you by exchange rate, isn't it? Now let's come back to our table here. You can see I said 100 centimeters make 1 meter, and I told you the last time that the one you have on the right hand side, which is 1, is a bigger unit, while the one you have on the left hand side is a smaller unit. So between centimeters and meters now, you can see that meter is a bigger unit while centimeter is a smaller unit, isn't it? And for meters and kilometers, kilometer is a bigger unit while meters is a smaller unit. So you need to understand that. And for these centimeters and meters, the exchange rate is 100. And for meters and kilometers, the exchange rate is 1000. So what this information is saying is that when you are changing from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, for example, look at it. Centimeter is a smaller unit. So when you are going from centimeters to meters, that is smaller unit to bigger unit, what do? You divide by the exchange rate. So in this case, you divide by 100. And the second one is saying, when you are changing from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, look at it very well. I told you kilometer is a bigger unit to meter. So it means when you are converting, for example, from kilometers to meters, which is bigger to smaller, what do? You multiply by the exchange rate. So let that also sink into your head, that when you are changing from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide by the exchange rate. But when you are changing from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply by the exchange rate. And shortly I will teach you how to divide and multiply by multiples of 10. We did that in the class before, but I will try to bring it back to your memory. You know, most of the things we have on this side are multiples of 10. 100 is a multiple of 10, 1000 is a multiple of 10, and I remember I taught you how to multiply and divide by multiples of 10. But I will refresh your mind over that again. Okay, let me quickly remind you what I taught you about multiplying and dividing by multiples of 10. For example, I told you, I remember that whenever you're multiplying by multiples of 10, you move to the right. I told you that, right? Whenever you're multiplying, when multiplying by multiples of 10, you move to the right. Okay? Now look at it very well. Multiples of 10 include what? 10, 100, that's what I'm talking about, okay? 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000 and so on. These are the multiples I'm talking about, not the 20, 30 part of it, okay? So whenever you're multiplying by multiples of 10, the 10, 100, 1000, you move to the right. What exactly are we moving? We're moving the point. So for example, I have this. This is 2 times 100, isn't it? 100 is a multiple of 10, isn't it? It's the power of 10 as well. So 2 times 100, I have told you when you are multiplying, you go to the right. Somebody will be asking me, what am I moving? We are moving the decimal point. That's why we're moving to the right or to the left. But in this case, 2 is a whole number, isn't it? Somebody will say it doesn't have a point. So for numbers that are whole number that they do not have point, you assume the points at the back, like full stop here. So since I'm multiplying and we're moving to the right, I'll move to the right 2 times. Why am I going to the right 2 times? Because the power of 10 I'm dealing with has 2 zeros. So I'm multiplying, that's why I'm going to the right, and I'm going to move 2 times because what? I have 2 zeros here. So it will be what? 1 and 2. I have gone to the right 2 times, isn't it? So what do? I can't leave this what? Rooms empty. I will fill them up with number 0. And I'm done. So what's my answer? 200. So that is why you have 2 times 100 as 200. Now let's take the one that has decimal. For example, 1.5 times 100. You know, now I'm multiplying decimal by what? A power of 10, isn't it? And I've told you when you are multiplying by powers of 10, you go to the right. When you are multiplying by powers of 10, you move to the right. So what do? You say 1.5. I've told you what you are moving is the point. The other one does not have a point, so we start from the back as full stop. But this one has a point, so you start from the point now. We are going to the right 2 times, 1 and 2. I have one empty room here. I won't allow you to stay that way. What do? I will fill it up. So what's my answer? 150. So 1.5 times 100 is 150. And the other side of it says that when you are dividing by multiple or powers of 10, you move to the left. Remember, when you are multiplying, you go to the right. When you are dividing, you move to the left, isn't it? So for example, you have something like this. 5 over 100. You are dividing, isn't it? This is 5 divided by 100, isn't it? Or you can also have it as 5 divided by 100. So since I have told you that whenever you are dividing by powers of 10, 100 is the power of 10. So all you need to do is what? You write your 5. And since you are going to the left, this does not have what? A point. So we assume the full stop is here. And we are going to the left, isn't it? 2 times because we are dividing. 1 and 2. So whenever you stop, because you are coming back now, division, you put your point here. This is an empty room, isn't it? You put 0 there. So what do you have? 0.05. But remember, points cannot start a number. So what do you put at the front? You put 0 at the front. So your answer is what? 0.05. This is 5 divided by 100. 100 will give you what? 0.05. But in case of times when you have decimal, for example, 1.5 divided by 1000. You know, this is another power of 10, isn't it? And this is a decimal. And I've told you, whenever you are dividing, you go to where? You go to the left. So what do you have? 1.5. What are you moving? You are moving the point. This one has a point. Unlike this one, it's a whole number. So we are starting from the back. But this one has a point. You start from the point. To the left, how many times? 3 times. Because we have 3 zeros there. 1, 2, 3. You put your point here. So fill up the 2 rooms. 1, 2. Points cannot start a number. You put 0 at the front. So what will be the answer? 0.0015. So 1.5 divided by 1000 is what? 0.0015. This is just to remind you on how to multiply or divide by powers of 10. So we are going to take our examples now. So it will be very easy for us because I've just done what? A kind of revision on what we have learned before. Let's take a look at some examples. Convert the following to the given units. Number 1, you have to convert 50 meters to centimeters. Now the first thing you do is what? Understand the link between these 2 units, meters and centimeters. What is the relationship between 2 of them? 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter. That's why I told you that that chart is very important. 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter. Now the next thing is to see, you are going from what to what? You are to go from meters to centimeters. Meters to centimeters. And I've told you this is a bigger unit, this is a smaller unit. So in other words, you are going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. And I have told you from the onset, when you are moving from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply by the exchange rate. So we are going from meters to centimeters, which is bigger to smaller. So we are going to multiply 50 by 100 to get the equivalent in centimeters. So what do we say? 50 times 100. And I've told you, when you are multiplying by powers of 10, 100 is the power of 10, you go to the right, isn't it? How many times? 2 times, because 100 has 2 zeros. So this is not a decimal number. I will start from the back and I will go to the right. How many times? 2 times. 1, 2. I will fill up the rooms with what? Zeros. So what's my answer? My answer is what? 5,000 centimeters. So 50 meters in centimeters will give you what? 5,000 centimeters. Example 2. Convert 250 centimeters to meters. So we are looking at centimeters and meters. What is the relationship between them? 100 centimeters make 1 meter. Remember, you need to know this. If you don't know it, you won't be able to solve it. But look at it again. We are going from what to what? We are going from centimeters to meters, which is centimeters to meters. This is a smaller unit, this is a bigger unit. So in other words, we are going from smaller unit to a bigger unit. And remember, I told you, whenever you are going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide by the exchange rate, which is 100. So what do? 250 divided by 100. That will give me my answer. But don't forget, whenever you are dividing by powers of 10, you move to the left. And how many times will I move in this case? I'll move twice because I have 2 zeros here. So this is not a decimal number. I will start from the back here. And I'm going to the left 2 times. 1 and 2. So I drop my point here. So what's my answer? 2.50 meters. So 250 centimeters in meters gives you 2.50 meters. Number 3. Convert 1.35 meters to centimeters. So we are still looking at meters and centimeters. So what do? Write a link between them. 100 centimeters make 1 meter. Then we look at where we are going to. We are going from meters to centimeters. Meters to centimeters. Remember, this is a bigger unit, this is a smaller unit. So we are going from bigger unit to smaller unit. And whenever you're going from bigger to smaller, what do? You multiply by the exchange rate. So I'm going to multiply 1.35 by 100. Remember, when we are multiplying, we are going to the right. And we'll go 2 times because I have 2 zeros here. And I'm going to move the point in this case because it's a decimal. So I'm going to the right 2 times. 1 and 2. So I've gotten into the back as full stop. I will stop there. There's no number after it, so I can stop. What's my answer? My answer is now what? 135. 135. Somebody will say we will drop the point here, isn't it? You can still drop it there. Points cannot end the number, so you have to add another 0 to it. So that gives you 135.0 or 135, because 135.0 is simple as 135, and this is 135.0 centimeters or 135 centimeters. So 1.35 meters to centimeters gives you what? 135 centimeters. Example 4. Convert 136 meters to kilometers. 136 meters to kilometers. So we are looking at meters and kilometers. What is the link between them? Remember, this is different from centimeters. 1,000 meters equals to 1 kilometer. So the next thing is, let's see the mode of movement. We are going from meters to kilometers. Meters to kilometers. Remember, this is a bigger unit and this is a smaller unit. So we are going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. What do? We are expected to divide by 1,000, which is the exchange rate. So what do? 136 divided by 1,000. Remember, when we are dividing, we are going to the left. How many times in this case? 3 times, because I have 3 zeros. So this is not a decimal. I'll start from the back. The left 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Drop your point here. Of course, points cannot start a number, so you add 0 to the beginning, isn't it? So what will it give you? 0.136 kilometers. So 136 meters in kilometers is what? 0.136 kilometers. So we're looking at example 5, and this will be our final example for this morning. We're to convert 2.89 kilometers to meters. So what is the link between kilometers and meters? 1,000 meters make 1 kilometer. So in this case, we are going from kilometer to meter. That is kilometer to meter, bigger unit to a smaller unit. And when you are going from bigger to smaller, we multiply by exchange rate. So what do? 2.89 times 1,000. Remember, we are multiplying here, and we have to go to the right. How many times? 3 times, isn't it? And this is a decimal, so we need to move the point. We're not starting from the back. So 3 times, 1, 2, 3, isn't it? So you fill up this with 0, and you can put your point here. But remember, points cannot end the number, so you have to end it with what? 0. So what will this one give you? 2890.0. And you know this is same as what? 2890. That's all. So what's our unit now? Our unit is meters, and this is meters. So 2.89 kilometers to meters will give you what? 2,890 meters. That's your answer in meters. Alright, Onyx, that will be all for this morning. As you can see, watch the video very well. Take your time to copy the note. Check for your classwork and your homework on your portal. See you some other time. Bye for now.